You won't find another class in undergraduate, you won't even find another class in law school that's going to expose you to this many actual practicing attorneys that are going to come in and tell you like it really is. And it's not just people at big law firms, it's folks that have their own little law firms, it's folks that are with some maybe mid-sized boutique firms, it's folks that are lawyers dedicated to particular companies and they work in in-house departments. And you get an opportunity not just to hear from them, but to actually interact with them, because these are panel discussions where we really rely on the students to drive where this thing goes, to make sure that you're getting the questions answered that you want answered. When they were in the heyday of they had anybody and everybody, all they had to do was say LSAT not high enough, GPA not high enough, goodbye, don't have to worry about it. But now they are, and they're having to look at, or they get to dig a little deeper. What they're also having to think about is how employable are our graduates going to be? Because they're if you haven't seen, law schools getting sued for putting out fraudulent information about employment statistics. How many people are actually getting jobs within the practice of law? So there's a lot of scrutiny there for them to make sure that our graduates do get jobs. One of the things that helps them evaluate that is, what are all the different things you're bringing to the table? What makes you unique? What makes you special and different? You've got this great GPA, but what about some other things that you've done? What about some other things that are marketable about you? Some other experiences that you've had? Honing in on some special areas that you may have focused in your major, whatever that may be, stuff that you've done outside of school. If you have significant involvement in some sort of community activity, being able to show that sort of investment, say, everything that I've done at Georgia State, I'm bringing to your campus as well. Everything that I am, besides the academics, I'm bringing to your campus as well. I'm going to be someone that's going to contribute at that level and do those sorts of things. The reality is you're not going to law school to learn how to be a lawyer. Nothing teaches you how to be a lawyer other than practicing law. So you go to law school to learn to think like a lawyer. And so you don't need to show them that you're already a lawyer. You need to show them that you have all kinds of work ethic and maybe being an outside-the-box thinker and someone who takes charge and takes initiative and does different things and whatnot. What are you going to bring to the campus? A law school applicant that says, I've always wanted to be a lawyer, and I want to be a lawyer, and I want to go to law school because my family's a lawyer, and that's just what I want to do. You get a lot of those. But talking about some particular issue maybe that you see out there that is troubling to you, that you think that there's a way to solve that, to address that, or to be a lawyer, here are these things I can do. Or, I've always just been really interested in securities. I love the stock market. And the best way for me to get involved in that is to be a securities lawyer. I want to help companies do IPOs. And talking about that sort of stuff where you really do have now a focus or something that you're going after, as opposed to just like, well, I didn't know what else to do. You get to the top and then drop you off and it goes really fast. And then there's the kind that shoots you out onto the track. Law school shoots you out onto the track, and then there's no way to stop it. Because you're on the curve, it is established right out of the gates, typically in the first semester, where people land on that curve. And very rarely do people move. So the first semester is is the most critical semester you'll have. First year, the most critical year you'll have in your educational career if you go to law school. Setting the tone early is absolutely necessary. So like Sue said, if you're not sure if I'm ready for that sort of a commitment yet, you got to be careful, because it's a big investment to make that in 4 months you can be in a situation where like, I wasn't really ready, now what do I do? Well, it's too late. You're on the roller coaster, you're going on it, and there's not a whole lot of variation. People don't move around a lot on the curve. Once people get to the top, it's hard to move them out of the way. It's like, the curve was described to me, it's like swimming away from a shark. You don't got to be the fastest swimmer, you just got to be faster than one other person.